Welcome. Today, the Maryville University Library is going to be talking about review versus original research. So first, what is original research? Original research can also be called primary research, empirical studies, or primary sources. These names indicate that something is being researched or studied by the author, by the primary sources. Original research often includes studies, surveys, and experiments conducted by the authors. What we can look for in original research are methods. This is where we learn how they carry out their study. You will get more background on data collection, experiment site, design of the study sample, and information organization and analysis. You will also see a results section. This is where you will see the key results of their experiment, study, or research, and it might include tables and figures, results of questionnaire surveys, summaries of statistical analysis. There will also be a conclusion and a discussion at the end of the original research article. This is where the results of the experiment are interpreted and compared to the original hypothesis. Did they come out as predicted? Were there any variables of this experiment that could have led to these results? What is review research? Reviews are a summary or analysis of other research. This means that people writing review articles are not doing surveys, studies, or experiments, and they're not conducting their own studies. They are reviewing and analyzing other researchers' work. This means that they are secondary sources, and they study other original review articles. These can also be called literature reviews. Review articles can be incredibly helpful to the field, to help gather and summarize what's already been published, and to help get an idea on what types of information are being published in your field. So let's go ahead and look at some real-life examples. So here we have a record for an original research article. Here we might have some elements that will help us know if it's an original article or a review article. Here we have our authors, and we can see that it is quite the long list of authors. This is often a good sign that it is going to be an original research article. All of these people have probably played a part in the experiment and the study that was done. In the title, here we have words like study, overview, and design. These are also kind of hints that this is going to be original research. They conducted a study. We're going to learn the overview and the design of their study. Here we have the source. This would be a good thing. You can look at the journal directly. And here we also have one diagram, two charts, and one graph. In the abstract, this is also going to help us get an idea of what this article is going to cover. And it's going to give us some of those buzzwords again that will help us know that this is going to be original research. Here we have our author affiliations. This is also a great way to get an idea on where these people are working and what they're doing. So the long list of authors, here's all of their affiliations. So the next thing you'll want to do is you'll want to actually look at the article. So here we can come over here to the left-hand side and click PDF full text. And this will bring us directly to the article. And here we will definitely be able to easily see if it's going to be original research or a review article. This one is a good example. However, know that not all of them will just say original paper at the top, but this one definitely does. So we know right off the bat that this is original research. Here we get our title again and all of the authors. So you can see those buzzwords again: study, overview, and design. We have our abstract or keywords. Here we have our introduction, our materials and methods, as well as the overview of our design, the laboratory, our discussion, the limitations they had conducting the experiment, and then we have their conclusions here. And then we have a nice small amount of references that they conducted during their study. So we have a conclusion, we have our table here of results, they discuss the results, they talk about their limitations of the study. A lot of good indicators that this is original research. So let's go ahead and jump over to a review article and let's see what differences we can identify right off of the bat. So here, looking at the title, we don't have any language that indicates that they are conducting a study or are giving us any methodology or overview of their study. Here we have our authors. There is only 3 authors for this particular article. And we can scroll down to the abstract and we can get an idea of what this article is going to be about. We can see if there's going to be any language like the one we just found that would indicate that they're conducting any kind of original research. So again, we can come up here to the left-hand side and click the PDF full text to get a good idea of the article as a whole. So again, this is a great example because it says review right at the top, but know that that will not always be the case. So it's going to be a really good idea to get in the habit of being able to identify an original article versus a research article. So some things you'll want to look at in a research article, again, we have the title, we have the authors here, and there's no language that indicate that they have conducted a study or they're giving us any kind of overview of original research. We have our background here. We have our objectives. We have our discussion, conclusion. It does have a method, but it says we review and discuss previous research related to autism risk. So know that even if it had a method section, you want to make sure that you read that section closely because their methods are not associated with original research. Their methods are that they are reviewing discussed previous research already conducted by other authors. So if we actually dive into the article here, we can see that we have different headers, but they are not methodology. They are not breaking down the experiment. They're breaking down different aspects of research that has already been conducted by other researchers. So if we scroll down to the end here, they do have some tables. So know that just because there are graphs and charts doesn't mean it's going to be original research because they're reviewing graphs and charts that maybe compare all of the articles that they've looked at, all of the different elements of research. And then we have our conclusion. But what I want to point out is the references. So we can jump back to our original paper here and we can scroll all the way down and we saw that there was 1 row of references here on the original research article. So if we go back to the review article, we can see that the references start right here and they go down this page and then they're the whole next 2 pages. So that is a lot of references. So they are reviewing a lot of other original research articles and a lot of other authors' work. So all of those things need to go in their works cited page. So even though there are only 3 authors up here, they have referenced a lot of work. So that is another good way to indicate that this is a review article because an original research article will not reference so many other works. They will mostly focus on presenting the information they conducted firsthand. So looking at the reference section is a great way to gauge if this is going to be original research or if it's going to be review research. So know that this is not a super easy thing to identify. And while the articles we looked at told us that they were original research and review, this is not always going to be a black and white issue. Sometimes it'll be a little tricky to tell if something is original, if something is review. So if you ever have any questions, never hesitate to reach out to the library or your instructor.